So yesterday I shared a little post about the Vercel dashboard in our DevStack Analytics template. And over the next week, I'm going to go chart by chart through that dashboard, show you behind the scenes how we built it. So in this video, we're going to start with the deploy duration chart, which is basically showing the average P95 deploy times across our deployments over time. Got an empty dashboard, and we're going to start with our deploy duration. So going to Tinybird, we've already got a Vercel data source, and that's basically the table where our data is being stored. And once you've got that data, you can create a pipe and start analyzing it in SQL. The template comes with a set of pipes already created, and we're just going to go through the deployment duration chart quickly. The SQL query for this is doing a couple of things. To start with, we are defining some dynamic parameters. This lets us pass a start date and end date, so we can control the range of data that we want to see. And we can also pass in a time range, which lets us change the granularity of aggregation. And at the start here, we're using the templating language to essentially switch on the value of that dynamic parameter of time range. After that, we're then calculating the average by doing a date diff of the first time we saw and the last time we saw, and averaging it to see the average difference. And then we're using the quantile function to work out the 95th percentile. So the second part is essentially, if you think about the data that we're getting from those webhooks, it is a append log event stream that we're seeing. And we will see a deployment created event for a particular deployment ID. And then at some point in the future, we will see a deployment succeeded event for the same ID. And so what we need to do is find both of those events. So for a given deployment ID, we need to find its created and then succeeded event. We take the timestamp of the created event, and that's our start time. And we take the timestamp of the succeeded event, and that's our end time. And then we use that to be able to calculate our date diffs. And then we just group by that period that we defined at the top and then order it. And at the end, we get a result that looks like this. And so then we've turned that into an API inside Tinybird. So we can view that and we get our result as JSON, and we could hit that URL and integrate it however we want. Because we're building it in this dashboard, we're going to use Tinybird charts and create a chart. So I create a chart. I'm going to call it Vercel deployment duration. And it's going to be a stacked line. Then in my data, I'm going to select the period as the index and average and P95 duration there. So that gives me my line chart. And then in my code, it's going to generate the component code for me. So I'm going to copy and paste the React code, and I'm going to go back to our app. This is the Vercel dashboard. So down here is where my duration chart is going to go, and so I need to build the component for it. So I'm going to add a new file. I'm going to call this deployment duration time series .tsx, and then I'm just going to paste in the code that we just copied. I'll take that, and I'm going to import it, and then down here, my OD is jumping ahead. I'm going to use that. And if I come back to our template dashboard, you can see it now. I've got my line chart in there already. Now, what I don't have is the date picker hooked up, and I don't have these buttons to change the granularity. So let's do that now. And to do that, the component already has this params value, and the dynamic params I defined in Tinybird are already exposed here. So what I need to do for that is to come back here and add the date ranges to that. So I've got a time range string, and then I've got the date from image to which I've got defined. And it's going to be whatever you undefined. And the same for that. So that should be everything I need. So I can see my daily, I can switch that, and I can change to hourly. And if I change that to 6 months, 60 days, and then I can see my 2 months. And so every time I load this page or I change one of those filters, it's hitting that Tinybird API and loading the freshest data.